everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rihanna, and here on Reread It, I review, discuss, and summarize books that I have read and let you guys know if it's worth a reread or not. Today's video is on the book The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. This is a book that was actually recommended to me by my mom. I believe I first read it when I was in middle school or like early high school years. I always loved this book. It's been one of my favorites since I read it the very first time. I actually just rediscovered this book and decided to read it again, and I'm so glad that I did. I loved it so much. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So this book is overall a summary of the main character Eddie's life. Eddie is actually a mechanic on a pier for the roller coaster rides there, and the book begins by telling us a little bit about his current life. He's now an older gentleman who works day in and day out on the pier, and he's sort of just lulling through life. He's not really enjoying life very much, and he's kind of sad because he's lost all his loved ones. He ends up tragically passing away when one of the rides malfunctions and falls on him while he's trying to save a little girl. Once that happens, Eddie isn't sure if he's alive or if he passed away in the accident. He can't really tell until he comes across some people that he hasn't seen in a very long time, and that is when he notices that he is in the spirit realm. So he comes across his dad, his wife, a woman named Ruby, the Blue Man, and the Captain. Hence the title of the book, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. So I'm not going to be able to go into much depth on each of the people that he meets because that would spoil the book for you. But I will tell you, each of the 5 people he meets throughout the book all played an important role in his life, and they all have a story, a lesson, or something special to share with him in the afterlife. Each of these people are also people that he recognizes from his lifetime. Some of them he recognizes right away or interacted with more often than others in his lifetime though. Each of the people he meets have very touching moments with him, and this book is great at provoking the emotions and thoughts in the reader. In between each of the chapters, there's sections titled Today is Eddie's Birthday, and in each of these sections, the author explains what's going on this day for Eddie in his lifetime. Each of these is just a random birthday. They're not in any specific order necessarily, and it just kind of gives you an insight into what is going on in Eddie's life. So my favorite thing about this book is probably the way that the author wrote it. He does a really great job in getting you to use your imagination and providing plenty of detail so that you can fully imagine and visualize the scenes he's describing. I also think he does a really great job at provoking emotion in the reader through the words that he uses and describing things in such great detail. So this is different from the type of books that I normally read, but I do think that the author did such a great job. And this is actually one of my favorite storybooks to read. I always enjoy it when I do read it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and read you guys some pieces from the book. So as always, I've pre-picked some of the sections I wanted to read to you guys, and I do include the page numbers in case you purchase this book. You'll know exactly where to find them in the book. There, sitting in a chair, alone on the stage, was a middle-aged man with narrow, stooped shoulders, naked from the waist up. His belly sagged over his belt, his hair was closely cropped. His lips were thin and his face was long and drawn. Eddie would have long since forgotten him were it not for one distinctive feature. His skin was blue. "Hello, Edward," he said. "I have been waiting for you." Page 31. So this is actually the first person that Eddie comes across in heaven, and you might be wondering why they call him the Blue Man. I can't really give you the exact reason because it'll kind of spoil the book for you, but when you do read the book, it'll all make perfect sense. Okay, moving on to the next one. Ruby stepped toward him. "Edward," she said softly. It was the first time she had called him by name. "Learn this from me. Holding anger is a poison. It eats you from inside. We think that hating is a weapon that attacks the person who harmed us, but hatred is a curved blade, and the harm we do to ourselves." Page 141. And then this is the last one I want to share with you guys. "Love, like rain, can nourish from above, drenching couples with a soaking joy. But sometimes, under the angry heat of life, love dries on the surface and must nourish from below, tending to its roots, keeping itself alive." Page 164. So those 2 pieces from the book are great examples of the lessons taught throughout the book to the reader. The author makes it seem like it's just a conversation being had between two of the characters in the book. However, I think a lot of the things he shares in the book are lessons that can apply to us as the reader as well. They come across as gentle reminders of little things that we forget in our day-to-day life. Okay guys, that is it for today's review video. I really hope you enjoyed it. So overall, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom is definitely a book that I would reread again. As I said in the beginning of the video, this is always going to be one of my favorite storybooks to read. I just really enjoy it, and I think it provides great messages to the reader. And when I'm looking for something that's more easy to read and just kind of a relaxing read where you can sit down and enjoy the book, this is what I reach for. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave a comment down below on if you've read this book or if you have any book recommendations for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!